Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about Aries and their personality. And yes, it does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Well, anyway, people, the first thing about Aries that I think of is the first thing that comes to mind is that they are very aggressive people very often. They don't really make any bones about something. When they want something, they go after it and get it, and they don't really let any obstacles generally get in their way. They could be very strong-willed. They generally have very little or no, as far as their physical fear goes, that is not even in their DNA, generally speaking. This sign could be fearless. They really are generally not afraid of physical confrontation. I had a friend or acquaintance that I worked with one time, and she was a Sun in Aries, and she just said, well, I'll fight anybody. And I believed her. Being a Sun in Aries, that did not really surprise me. And another thing is, Aries can often be drawn to, I guess you could say, vocations or competition that involves this kind of like physical confrontation, combative type sports such as like the martial arts or boxing or wrestling. Now, actor Steven Seagal is a Sun in Aries and Leo Ascendant, and if I'm not mistaken, he is an expert in some martial arts. I'm not sure which one it is, but it really, it doesn't really shock me being a Sun in Aries. And the thing too about Aries is they could be very impulsive. This sign, really, I see this sign as notorious for having accidents, and which could be car accidents included, because Aries, really, they don't always think before acting. They could be very abrupt. And generally, when Aries they could be very outspoken and blunt as well. And with what they say, it's often about being forthright. Aries, I don't see them as generally malicious people or belligerent, but what it is, they can come across as being abrasive because of some of the things they say, but they're just speaking really right from the heart, or basically what comes to their mind right away, and they're not really thinking about if it's going to hurt someone's feelings. Aries also, being ruled by Mars could really the most angry or acrimonious sign. It's a sign, Aries is a sign that could be easily provoked, but they're generally not vindictive or revengeful. Aries is not about grudge holding. Aries can get mad easily, but they have the forgive and forget philosophy. They can blow up fast, but then the anger can dissipate almost as soon as it comes out. Aries can calm down very easily after getting angry, but their episodes can be frequent. Aries, can have a very fiery temperament. This sign can also be drawn to leadership positions. They really often have a natural feel for authority. They may have an aversion to being in a subordinate or subservient role because this leadership prowess is just often so strong with them. It's interesting that Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and I don't know if you've noticed, I think when I see Aries, it seems like they often like to lead in front of others, in front of a group when they're walking, and it's almost like it's so symbolic of the sign being the first sign of the zodiac. Aries can actually be very pioneering, even innovative, because you look at the sign, and Aries really, it's being the first sign of the zodiac, I think a lot of this is connected with the fact that they want to do something first. They want to be the ones that come up with certain ideas and being original. Now, and keep in mind too that Aries can also be very quick thinking. Aries may not be an air sign, but in a solar or natal chart, Gemini often falls on the third house cusp of Aries. And Aries could really be very quick-witted and think very quickly and have a quick, facile mind. Now, Aries also can be rather impatient. They are not a sign that really sticks around for things to get done, and as far as their culmination and finishing things, unlike Taurus, which really, in a way, in certain ways, is like the antithesis of Aries, because Taurus can take their time and be very plodding in terms of starting a project, but they often will finish it. While Aries can start a lot of projects, sometimes simultaneously, where they will not be as apt to finish it all, these projects off, but they are very good as far as initiative and enterprise goes. Now, the thing about Aries too, having this no fear concept they often do, they could often be very audacious and daring. This is the sign, the person that would go on a high wire faster than most other people would, because they're just simply often have no fear in them. It's just a lot of times this is not in their DNA. Aries is the kind of person that will stand up for somebody when others will kind of hide and not do so, because Aries is known, I mean, Aries will fight for their beliefs when they feel they need to, and this could be very often. While other signs, on average, at least compared to Aries, will walk away more, Aries is the one that's about that combat, that's about confrontation, that really won't shy away from conflict or controversy. They feel that they have to kind of meet things head on. They're not ones to go about things in a subtle manner, because Aries is often very direct and very straightforward. And Aries in their projects, they often approach them with a lot of exuberance and a lot of enthusiasm. Another thing about Aries is that they often have very high energy levels and could be very energetic and have a lot of vitality, and sexually as well, because Aries is ruled by Mars, and Aries can have a very strong libido and sex drive. When I see Aries, I think it's I think it's second only to Scorpio. I think Scorpio is the most sexual sign and has the strongest sex urge, but I think Aries is a very close second, because Scorpio is ruled by Mars and Pluto, and I think that gives it a very powerful sex urge with that Pluto mix in there. But then with Aries, it's being ruled by Mars, and Mars is connected with sex. So I think, I mean, for me, it'd be, at least I think Aries would be the second most sexual sign of the zodiac for that reason. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for Aries and their personality. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be talking about Taurus and personality. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel, but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.